I want you to be lazy and spoiled. And if that triggered you, good, because this video is going to change your life. I am Pauline Zimmer. I am fully specialized in healing the fearful avoidant attachment style. I've helped over 3,000 fearful avoidants heal in the past 7 years after healing it completely myself. And I am so happy you are here because this whole spoiled and lazy trope is not working anymore. When you're a fearful avoidant, you probably grew up with not being allowed to be spoiled or lazy. It was probably the two most important things that I was not allowed to be when I grew up. Not allowed to be lazy and not allowed to be spoiled. What that led to was me feeling like I always had to do something in order to prove my worth, in order to show that I was good enough, in order to show that or prove that I was worthy of whatever, deserving of whatever. I needed to do things in order to do that. Whenever I got tired and needed to rest, I got this unrest, this tension, because I wasn't allowed to be lazy. I needed to be up and doing something. I glorify people who hustled, who kept going the whole day, who worked really hard and worked an honest job. And I just couldn't do it. I was tired. It was not my it just wasn't a possibility at that time. When I was in the crash state of the fearful avoidant attachment style, I was struggling with chronic fatigue syndrome. I was so incredibly tired and exhausted. So I felt guilty the whole time. I felt very unworthy, very undeserving, very useless, really. And now I can very clearly see that it all had to do with me not being allowed to be lazy. I didn't listen to my body when it needed to rest because resting was lazy. I needed to do things first before I got to rest. And I wasn't allowed to be tired because that would lead to being lazy. And I believe that if I would allow myself to rest, and I hear this a lot from a lot of fearful avoidance, if I would allow myself to rest, then I would become lazy and I would never get out of that. And that is such unhealthy thinking because your body needs rest. And we are not built the same. We're not all the same. There are people that can work really hard physically and they thrive on that. They feel really good. If there's any sense of you thinking, I actually would like to be lazy, then you are not supposed to be hustling. You are not supposed to be working so hard. Your strength and your power is in other things. I will get back to that. But lazy, let's stop with that. Spoiled, another thing. I want you to be spoiled. This is something that we've heard too, right? Growing up, you're not allowed to be spoiled. What does spoiled even mean? It means that you get more than you need. It means that you have, you want more. And I can just get a little bit angry thinking about it because imagine living life with just barely enough. Just enough. Not an abundance of anything. Just enough. Does that sound like a very calming and relaxing state to live in? No, because if you just have enough, whenever any emergency comes, whenever something happens that you can't predict, you drop down into the negative because you don't have a buffer. You don't have that extra. You don't have that abundance. So why would we tell children or give them the feeling that when they have more or want more, that's a bad thing and they shouldn't be spoiled? I mean, I could go into the whole, the whole reason why, but that's not really for the purpose of this video. It's just time that we look at this differently. And what I want for you, if there's any sense of you wanting to be spoiled and lazy, that's okay. That means something. I will get to that. Another part of being spoiled is that wanting more, you should be happy with what you have. You should be happy with where you're at, what you have. You should be grateful and not want more. You are built for growth. You are built for growth. You want growth. You want to learn. You want to grow as a person. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And you want to get out of where you are now, out of the crash state of the fearful avoidant attachment style. And guess what? That wanting growth is exactly what is going to get you out of that. It's the motivator. You get to grow, you get to want more, you get to long for more, because that just makes you grow as a person. And by doing that, and you should do that for yourself, you are also liberating others from keeping themselves small artificially, because they should be grateful only. You can be very, very grateful and long for more at the same time, long for growth at the same time. There was a long time where I didn't allow myself to want more, whether that was material things, whether that was just experiences, anything. And it dimmed a light in me. It made me so unhappy. I thought I had to be like some people were in my environment, in my family. I had to just be content with living a small life, and that's just not who I am. And trying to adjust to that was painful. It was painful. So what I did is I embraced lazy and spoiled. I said, maybe I want to be lazy and I want to be spoiled, because if lazy means that I can rest without feeling like I have to do a lot of things to prove that I'm worthy of that rest, please let me be lazy. I want to allow myself to rest as much as my body needs. I want to take care of myself and relax so much that my body knows that I can take care of it. And from that, anything I want to do, I can do. If that's what it means to be lazy, I want to be lazy. Yes, please. Spoiled. If spoiled means that I will have more than enough, and that I get to unapologetically go for what I long for, what I desire, and through that I grow and I learn, which feeds me so deeply to the point that I couldn't even imagine back then, yes, I'll be spoiled, please. If that means that I don't have to be afraid of any emergency that's coming, of any twist in my road in the rest of my life, because I know I have more than enough, yes, please. Embracing your desires is actually life-giving when you are wired for growth, and you are, and that is a good thing. When you struggle with the fearful avoidant attachment style, you probably have an obsessive mind. I've been talking about this in the past few videos, and that is such a good thing. When you have that obsessive mind, which is a good thing, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing, and it will bring you more than you can ever imagine. If you have that, and you don't allow yourself to want what you want, to desire what you desire, that is going to be painful. It is going to dim your light. You are not going to be very happy. And you can absolutely be happy or be grateful for what you have right now, feel very calm and stable in what you have right now, and have this intense longing for growth. It can happen simultaneously. And so I want you to be lazy and spoiled. I want you to rest as much as you need to rest, as you want to rest, so that you do whatever you really want to do. Because how insane is it that we expect people to work for the sake of working? If somebody calls somebody lazy, what they're saying is you need to be doing something that you don't want to be doing in order to prove your worth. But when I look at the people that I look up to that help me the most, when I look at the times in my life when I felt the most lit up, when I think I was of most value to other people, it was when I was doing what I wanted to do. Not when I was proving, and I did that a lot. Not when I was hustling, and I did that a lot just for the sake of proving. And it was actually when not when I started the business, I think I was into the business for a while, this business, that I realized I don't want to be there for you from a place of obligation of having to work, of having to prove my worth. What the F is that to you? How is that going to help you if I am going to just work really hard to kind of please my ego in a way, to kind of feel better about myself for not being lazy? So this was such a rewrite of stories. This was a lot of obsessive saturation around, I want to be lazy. I love being lazy. I love not doing anything. And that's what gets me the best ideas. That being also the pitfall again, like, oh, I have to be lazy, but then I have to have like good ideas in order to be valuable for other people. I really had to allow myself to be lazy just to be lazy, to rest whenever I wanted to rest, to relax whenever I wanted to relax. And there was so much wiring around that I had to release, and a lot of obsessive saturation into what I did want and how I did want to feel around that. And it changed my life. It changed my life to allow these two things, lazy and spoiled. And it felt so empowering. It felt so powerful to finally not run away from both of these and be so scared that somebody would call me lazy or somebody would call me spoiled, but actually embrace them. I want to be lazy. I want to be spoiled. If I can find a way to be both things, yes, please, because I truly believe that I will be of the most service when I do what lights me up, what I want to do. Then I have all the energy of the world. In the world, if you ask me to do something just to do it, to prove that I'm not lazy, that just takes so much energy. And like I said, we're all built differently. So there are people that just love doing things, being active. That's fine for them. There is no one better or worse. And that's what I want to change here. It's like people who hustle, people who work hard, people who are wired for doing physical things and loving that are not any better than when you don't have that. When you want to be lazy, when you want to rest, when you don't want to be physically doing things all the time. You have power in so many different ways. You have power in physicality, you have power in mind, you have power in mindset, you have power in growth, you have power. And I am willing to work so hard. Like, that is what I love when it comes to mindset. And when it comes to healing and releasing and saturating and doing anything to get my subconscious to a place that everything becomes easier. I am not willing to hustle and work really hard because that just doesn't fit my system. And I am not going to do that anymore. And that was such a deliberate choice, and one that brought up a lot of associations and triggers, and that was fine. And it really freed me up. And being spoiled, I mean, being spoiled means being very well taken care of, means knowing that all my needs are valid and they will be taken seriously and they will be listened to, even if it's just by me. And that has also been so freeing, to allow myself to have a comfortable life, to allow myself to have more than I need, to allow myself to have my needs be important, to mean something important, because my needs bring me further and further on a path of growth. And in that path of growth, I can be there for other people without it costing me a lot of energy, so much easier. When I know all my needs are met, when I know they are important, when I know I get to unapologetically embrace those needs and go for them and receive what I want to receive, even if it's more than I need, that allows me to do what I want to do and not do it because I have to, because I have to prove anything. But also it allows me to have the energy to be there for other people. If I would only live life with just enough, I would always be anxious for what's to come. The moment I allowed myself to be spoiled and really worked a lot around rewriting that and what that meant, the moment I did that, that was the moment that I was not as anxious anymore about the future. Because I knew I could handle so much more. So this is just, it's such an old story that is just very damaging, I think, especially for people like us with a very um, strong brain and mind and uh, work ethic when it comes to healing. That is so valuable and that is so valid. So I want you to be lazy and spoiled. I want you to have enough and I want you to rest whenever you need to rest. And that, embracing that, healing all around that, will so much help you with healing the fearful avoidant attachment style. It will help you. Um, it will help you in so many ways. It will liberate you in so many ways. It will allow you to enjoy life in so many ways. And that's what I want for you. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this. I'm really curious. It might be triggering, and that is a good thing because that means that there is a lot to be won here. Um, as always, I am so happy you are here, and I will see you in the next one. Healed and Happy is a tailor-made online program where me and my team personally guide you through healing the roots of a fearful avoidant attachment style.